Uh, Hi. Let's start this meetup. Just a quick question: how many of you have coded in Python? Okay, seven. We are expecting a few. Okay, three more. So we are starting off, right? So this is basically just a beginner's level introduction to Python talk. So I'll be just showing some demos and very simple code, like how you can do simple stuff in Python. I'll directly start with code first. So which is the first program you write in any language? Hello world, right? So what does hello world do? It just prints hello world, right? So yeah. So this is this visible? Can we shut off these lights? Yes. Yeah. This is how hello world looks in Python. Just plain simple print hello world. Let's try and do this. Yeah. How do you use Python? Like how do you run Python code? So Python has an interpreter which you can use. So how the way you do is if you have installed Python in your machine, like on Linux and OS X, it's already pre-installed. You have to install it separately on Windows machines, and then you just type Python. You'll see something like this. Okay, so and that's it. Okay, as simple as that. You can also do it in a file. So the way of doing it, I'll just get out of my interpreter, and I'll just create a file. Let's say I already. So let's say this is my editor. I'll just say print, and the way of running this is you just say Python. Okay, as simple as that. The file got executed. Okay. This is the corresponding hello world in C++ equivalent code in Java. But in Python, you don't have to create main functions or anything or any class for executing your code. You can just type it in a file and execute it. Another example, reading from a file. Okay, so it just opens a file. So the code is as simple as that. A file consists of lines. So you can just say, okay, for every line, in open that particular file and print that line. So let's demo it. A hello.py file, right? So let's see what it has. So I can just say, okay, with okay, and this printed my file. Okay, as simple as that. So you can just do it in like 2 lines of code. You can read a particular file. You can also write to a file, which we'll see later. Equivalent code in C++ and in Java. Java gets very confusing at times. So another little bit tricky program, swapping to variables. How do you swap to variables? Pseudocode. A plus B, A minus B. Can you just help me out with that? Let's try it out. Okay, so what should I do now? C equal to A, A equal to B. Okay. Uh, okay, yes, sure. Great, great job. And anyways, without using the temp variable. Somebody already studied Python and came. Yes. A is equals to A plus B, B is equals to. A is equal to A plus B, and B is equals to A, and A is equals to. Okay, let's see. Great, swapped again. Okay, awesome. So basically the concept of swapping is just A का value B में डालो, B का value A में डालो, right? As simple as that. So how you do swapping in Python is just this. So let's see. Swap. Another simple program. Don't just get into details of what is there on this particular snippet. We'll see that later on. But it's just a demo showing how easy it is to do things in Python. So this is just computing a list of squares, like computing squares for numbers from 0 to 10 or 0 to 9. Okay, so if you see, there is a star star operator in Python, which is for power. Okay, so x raised to 2 for x in range 10. Range 10 will take numbers from 0 to 9. We'll see the details later on. And it gives you the squares of all these numbers. I can also compute cubes with a simple change. Okay, so simple snippets of code to start off with. So you have some. So now you got some idea about Python, right? Let's see some cool demos. So first demo which I'll show is some visualizations. Basically, how easy it is to have to do things like plotting and everything in Python. So let's start off simply with a sine wave. Okay, and you can have animated plots using matplotlib. So there are various libraries in Python like matplotlib, Chaco, Mayavi for visualization. So this is a DK plot. You can have this plot which computes random numbers and then plots histograms in real time. You can also have 3D plots like this. And so this was using a library called as matplotlib, but there is another library called as Mayavi, which gives you plots like this. So something like this. So these kind of 3D plots, like similar to how you get these plots in something like MATLAB. But you also get interactive plots, like something like this, where you can do stuff and play with it in real time. I don't know what this plot does actually, but it just looks cool to me. And I can just change these functions and say, okay, z square, and it changes in real time. So yeah, so don't ask me what this is, but this is just looks cool. That's it. Okay. Uh, Second will be a search engine. So this is a search engine I wrote for one of the online courses on udacity.com. So this is a search engine with like roughly 137 lines of code. What it does is I have three files. One is multi.html, one is b.html, and a.html. Okay, these have certain some texture in it. So I'm just going to try searching. So let's say I want to search for something like which text have Python, which of these files have Python in that. So okay, print multi lookup. I'm searching for Python. Okay, and if you see, it's b.html has Python and similarly a. So I should get both, right? Yeah. So I got b.html and a.html. So just to show you that I am not bluffing, I'm going to change one of my files. Let's say multi.html. I'll add Python to it. And let's try this thing. So it shows multi.html also, right? So this is like a very basic search engine in like roughly 130 lines of code. You can also build web applications using Python. So a demo, okay. So this is a simple chat application, and if you see, if you notice what's happening, I'll just increase the font size. Okay, did you just see what happened over here? Uh, just look at this text again. User 2 is typing, and it's all real-time chat. Like you can see, the same change is happening here. So this is a kind of like in roughly, if you look at the code, it's almost like 50 lines of code, and you also need support from client-side JavaScript. So this is like another around 60 lines of code in CoffeeScript, and you can build such cool applications with the libraries which you get in Python. Uh, so you can build scripts which can talk to the internet. So okay, since we have internet connection over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to google.com and print the first 500 characters which I get from its source. So as you can see, like just in like 3 lines of code, I can get uh, and the entire content if you want. Like this is the source of google.com. You can go to the internet, get its source, and do stuff on it. So you might be having some questions like what is it, who is using it, what platform does it run on, who wrote it, how fast is it, these kind of questions, right? So this is about Python. It was written by a guy called Guido van Rossum, who currently works at Dropbox. So this is actually not named behind the species of snake, Python, but it's actually named after a BBC show called as Monty Python. The first version was released in 1989, and it's the most it's the eighth most popular language right now, and it has won Programming Language of the Year twice in 2007 and 2010. So who is using Python, you might ask? So this is just cut out from the list of sponsors for PyCon US 2012, and you can see the names of companies using Python. I don't know if you know these companies. Yeah. You'll find some big names over here. So there are many companies who are using Python for their development. So CIA is using Python maybe to spy on you. I don't know. So where can you run Python? If you didn't get the joke, assume do I say. नहीं यार ये तो बैंगलोर का है. You can see Karnataka.
So did you find that, or did you...
Someone tweeted about it, so I just stole it. So where can you run Python? So yeah, we need some Python stickers for that. So where can you run Python? It works on Windows, Linux, and OS X. You can also run it on Nokia Series 40 and Series 60 phones, which are about extinct right now. In Android, you can use SL4A, and recently the slide is not updated, but there is also a project called as Python for Android, with which you can build native Android apps using Python. And iOS also has a Python interpreters, but with the iOS keyboard, I don't think so you'll be able to write some good Python code. But it has interpreters, like they have workarounds. So what can you do with Python? We've already seen. You could do visualizations. You can talk to the internet. You can do web development. You can do database access. Like you can create GUIs. It's also been used for games and 3D graphics. Like DreamWorks uses Python for some of its works, and also Walt Disney, as you have seen in the previous slide. And it's just up to your imagination. Like you can do anything with Python. So why Python? Uh, the famous comic. It's so famous that we have included it in our Python source. So if you just to terminal and just say it will open up this comic. Uh, I don't know how many of you got what this guy is doing, but he's just saying that I started using Python and hello world is just print hello world, and there is dynamic typing, white space, indented. The code looks so beautiful. So he says I checked my medical cabinet. Either I am high or it is just Python. So this is XKCD comic. So why Python? Free and open source. You can download the source, make your own Python something, call it, like give it your name. Cross-platform, clear and readable syntax. You can create applications very rapidly using Python. And it has a batteries included standard libraries. So most of the functions which are most commonly used are already present in the standard library. Like you think of it, and there is like I could say 60% chance of being it in standard library, or maybe I'm not a good statistician, but there is a good chance. It works great with C, Java, and .NET. So you can write your code in C, Java, and .NET and interface it with Python. So Python is just that syntax, right? But it's implemented. So it's implemented using C. The interpreter is implemented using C. There is also something called as Jython, which is the same interpreter implemented using Java, and something called as IronPython, which is with .NET, the same interpreter with .NET. It has automatic memory management and garbage collection. So to demonstrate this, today I'm going to show you something very big. How many of you know how many zeros are in in factorial of 1000? Come on, किसी ने cat नहीं दिया क्या? Okay. So let's see how big that number is. Oops. 1000. Okay. I'm too lazy to count, but still, this is the number. So if I was writing C code or Java code, I don't know what kind of data type I would use for this. But this is an example of automatic memory management. You can store these numbers. This looks cool, like matrix. Okay. So automatic memory management and garbage collection. Again, you can also see the size of source code that we write in Python. It's usually like orders of magnitude of 3 to 5 from equivalent Java programs and 5 to 10 from equivalent C++ programs. It helps the developer focus on code, right? You don't have to think about, like, if you want to implement sorting, you don't have to write a separate sorting routine to just for your code, right? If anyone has already done it, you can use it. It is excellent language for prototyping. Like you can prototype things in like minutes or hours, depending on your project base, obviously. So why not Python? So people just usually consider it as a scripting language, something like Perl or PHP. So it's not just a scripting language. People have been building, like if you know Dropbox, YouTube. So YouTube was initially Python. I think now they have put some parts into C, but YouTube was originally Python. Even the first implementation of the Google search algorithm was in Python. You can see Dropbox. Dropbox is entirely Python, and there are all kinds of very large-scale projects out there which are built using Python. And there is always a argument against Python that it is slower than compiled language. Well, yes, it is slower, but then it gives you better. The development time is faster than execution time, and with the scale of machines that we have now, it's easy to ignore the slowness. And also you can compile the slow parts into C, so you can write C extensions. There are projects called as Python, and Python itself has some ways to interface your C code with it, or you can just write the slower parts using C. So there are ways to make it fast. So where can you learn Python? So these are few of the sites which give you Python courses. Udacity.com, edX, Khan Academy, MIT OpenCourseWare. You can get excellent resources about learning Python on these sites. I'll give you the link to the slide later on so that you can just visit those sites. So this is said by Chris Yu, who is the software engineer at Udacity. And he says that Python, because it's overall and the most convenient language for teaching and learning, they used Python for teaching their courses. So their first course was like you have seen the search engine, right? So that was CS 101 course for Udacity, and the prerequisites for that course was so they'll teach you building a search engine in 6 weeks, and the prerequisites were no programming experience required at all. So like for someone who does not know anything about programming, they'll teach you how to build a chota mota search engine in like 6 weeks. So you can just oh boy, I'm forgetting words. So you can gauge yourself like how easy it could be to code in Python. So starting with data types. So the theory part is over now. What all we'll see is some quick demos. So again, how many guys don't know Python? Don't know Python. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So what we'll see is how to use basic data types in Python and do very common operations like sorting and some cool operations which I don't want to disclose right now. I'll keep the suspense for the end. So the numeric types are integer, long, float. We also have complex numbers. I don't know who uses it, but we still have complex numbers. Has any of one of you used complex numbers in your code in Python? Hey, what did you use it for, Punch?
Writing some information of circuit.
Okay.
So you need complex values.
Oh, awesome, man. You have Boolean, true and false, sequences, string, Unicode, base string, list, tuple. We'll see what they do. And there are mapping types called which are dictionary, set, and frozen set. Questions will. Do you have any questions till now? Any questions? Any? No questions? Okay, so we'll dive into Python then. So this is the default Python interpreter, but I don't like this. I'm going to use something like IPython, which is the same thing, but a little bit awesome. So let's start with simple things like we have said integers, right? So how do you do assignment in Python? You just say a is equal to 10. Okay, that's it. You don't have to specify the data type or anything. And are you sure this is integer? Like you would say, integer liya kya usne? How is it so smart? So you can check it out. You can say, okay, show me the type of a, and it will say int. Okay. What you can also do is अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि a को एक बार int कर दिया तो it will be a int till the end of eternity. So you can make it something like string also. You can say, okay. So you say a is foo, now it is a string. How do you check it? You just say type a string. That's it. Okay, as simple as that. So just to cover more things in a short span of time, I'm going to use a shortcut. So instead of doing a is equal to 10 plus 20 and doing something like print a, okay, I'm going to do something like 10 plus 20. Is that okay? So since this is a smart interpreter, it will give you the output. So instead of assigning everything into variables, I'll just directly execute the expressions. Okay, is this okay? Chalega na? So let's do addition. 10 plus 20, 30. Okay, awesome. What else you can do? You can subtract and you can divide. So you can divide. You can say, okay, 10 by 2, 5. Okay, cool. 10 by 3, 3. Oh no, 10 by 3. So Any problem? Do you know what problem is here? Integer by integer. Okay. So what do we do? 10 by 3.0. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I don't have any gifts to give, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have given you one. What you can also do is, like, in general, I think Python programmers are very lazy, so they don't want to type this 0. So you can just say 3 point, and it is taken as 0. Like you can do 3.3, but if you just want 3.0, you can just type a dot. Okay, so it's considered as float. You can also multiply 10 into 2. So these are strings, and similarly floats work the similar way. So you can do 10 by 10.4 by 4.3, 4.4 something. So this is float operations. The new operator in Python is we have seen earlier, which is the star star operator, in which you can do something like 10 raised to 200, or let's say 11 raised to 2. Anybody? What's the answer? 121. Yes, exactly. Python is correct. So 121. So you got the raised to operator, right? So these are normal integers, floats. Uh, any other operators that we use? Minus is very trivial. Modulus. So modulus is also how it works in C, Java. You have coded in at least one programming language, right? Till now. Okay. So 10 modulus 2. Okay. 10 modulus 3. 1. Okay. Awesome. So this is very simple. Let's go to strings. Let's jump into strings. So how do you concat to strings? You add them. Okay. So let's say A plus B, AB. Okay. Very simple. Any idea what do we do? Have any one of you multiplied any strings? Multiplication of strings. In Python, what you can do is if you want same string to be repeated n number of times, let's say I want A to be printed 10 times. So what I can do is I can say something like for, okay, let's not go there. So the easy answer is you can do something like A into 10 and 10 will be, A will be printed 10 times. Okay, so this is multiplication. So the catch is on the right hand side of the star operator, it has to be an integer. You can't do something like A into B. Or maybe you can, but I have not tried it. No, you can't. So this is strings. Also what you can do is, so by default, if you do something like this, type A, it will give you a string. But if you have noticed on my slide, I have also said something like Unicode. Okay, it gives you Unicode. So how do you get Unicode? So if you see by default C++ follows the ASCII standard and Java follows the Unicode standard. So Python 2, so this is Python 2.x which we are running, 2.7. There is also version called as Python 3.x. So 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. The catch is in 3.x there are few features which are not backward compatible with Python 2.x. For example, if you see Python 2.7 by default strings are ASCII. Okay, but in Python 3.x by default strings are Unicode. And similarly, there are features like how we do print in Python. Like right now, what I did was I did something like Python print hello world, right? The same piece of code, if you are going to run in Python 3.x, it won't be a valid syntax because the print has changed to a function. So if you do something like this, so to print, you'll have to do something like this. Okay, so there are these very few backward incompatible changes in Python 3. So since right now we are in Python 2.x, creating string is something like, okay, A, right? Let's say S is equal to A. Okay, simple. How do you make it a Unicode string? You put U in front. So you just say, okay, S is equal to U, A. Okay, am I clear? Clear? So now if I do type S, it will give me Unicode. Okay, so this U signifies Unicode. Okay, so let's do some typecasting. So I can do something like this. Let's say, so let's play with strings for some time. So can I do something like this? Does this work? Int of a? No, ord. Sorry. So so if I do just this, it will give me 97, right? Because the value of small a is 97. Similarly, you can do something like this. Char 97 is a, okay, because the same value. For Unicode, you have something like UniCHR, okay, and you can do something like UniCHR 8377, which will give you something like this. Let's print it, which is some Unicode with /u, some hex. So let's print this thing. Do you recognize this? The rupee symbol. Yes. So Unicode basically. So these are about strings. Anything I missed about strings? Which anyone else?
So I think we
Yeah, that I'll cover with list.
uppercase, lowercase.
Uppercase, lowercase, exactly. Okay, that's good. So let's say I have something like, let's put it in a variable. Okay, s is equal to abc. So if I want this to be in uppercase, so I can just do s dot upper. Similarly, I can do something like s dot lower. Since it's already abc, so okay, so just to so I did s dot upper, and now when I do s is still abc. Okay, what s dot upper does is it gives you a new string with uppercase characters. Okay, to explain it more simply, let's do something again. So this is my s. Let's do t is equal to s dot upper. Okay, now print s comma t. So you can see ABC and ABC with capitalized. So what s dot upper does is it will give you a different string. It will not give you the same string. Okay, it will create a different string with uppercase characters and return it, and s will remain as it is. Okay, simple. Oh, we also have s dot capitalize. Okay, so capitalize will capitalize the first character, and you can see there are so many function operations which you can do with C. So you can say, okay, does this start with B? Oh, okay, V. False. It does not start with V. So does it start with A? Oh yes, it starts with A. Okay, simple operations.
Did
So
you say that Python has a string pool because it's creating a new one like same like Java? So Java has the similar feature, right? That using applying the string functions to any of the string variable, it creates a new string in a string pool. So is it same with Python or it's
I
just
don't exactly know about string pools, but basically it will create a new string object and point to it. But if you want to change if you want to change the string in place, you have to use a string buffer or something like that, right?
So do you do so that it caches the strings and
yeah? So there is
it?
a separate memory given to string objects in Java, right?
I'm not sure about strings, but that happens with ints.
Okay.
In Python, you do that with ints, but I'm not sure which strings. Punch, do you know anything about it?
They call it Python. They call it interning. I think they used to, at least in some of the early versions, intern short strings, but not long strings. But I don't know. Version 3 or 7. Yeah, string interning is the same.
So yeah, so we do use some kind of those optimizations. So that was about strings. What we'll see is a very cool data structure which is called a list. And how do you create a list? So let's say I have a variable L and I'll just put two square brackets. This is a list. So you can say something like this. Type L, okay, it's a list. Okay. So how is list? So list is not like a C++ array. which is of fixed size and all the elements should be of fixed type. It is more like vectors in Java, where you can put different kinds of values in it, and it can be of huge sizes. So I can create a list with an integer, oops, with a string and with a float. So how do I access this? Access these individual elements? Any ideas? Index L0, 1. Okay, as simple as that. So this is list. So now let's talk about something called, which you have seen earlier, which is called range. Okay, so we saw. So let's see what range does. I'm just typing range 10. So it gave me values from 0 to 9. Okay, so it gave me 10, a list of 10 elements. Okay, but what range actually takes is something like this. Any clue what these parameters mean? Starting?
Start, end, and the increment.
Increment. Okay, so let's see if what we are thinking is correct or not. So let's go from 10 to 20, jumping with 2. Okay. Oh, cool. You are smart guys. Again, but I don't have any gifts right now, so sorry. So yeah, so that is what range does. Okay. So we are going to play with range. So let's say range of 15. So my list is 0 to 14. Okay. 0 to 14. What if I want to reverse it? So I can do something like L dot reverse. Okay. Let's see. And by the way, did you notice something? When we did S dot upper, it printed something, right? Like let's do it again. S dot upper. ABC. It gave me ABC, right? But when I did L dot reverse, it did not give me anything. Because what it did was it reversed the list in place. The same object changed. Is this clear? Yeah. Any doubts?
Yeah.
Clear? So what L dot reverse did was it reversed my list in place. उसी list को reverse कर दिया. How do I get it back? I can sort it. I'll do L dot sort. Okay. L. My list is sorted. Okay. Any questions still here?
What if I have multiple data types and I sort it?
Let's try it out. So let's say I have a list called as K and I have A, B, C, I have 10 and I have minus 3.6. Okay. K dot sort. Ooh, awesome. So it did something which I think is minus 3.610, and did it convert it to int or something? Actually, if you go to the online documentation, you'll find how it works. But I think it takes the ASCII value of A, or maybe. Oh, let's try it. Okay, awesome. Let's take M, A, and A, and let's put it dot sum. So I think. Yeah. So I think basically it uses the ASCII values. Okay, so we have sorted a list, we have reversed a list, we have used range. Okay. Yeah.
Just try 65. That is CAR 65 and 66.
Okay.
I think 66 will come earlier.
So you are saying
65, that is capital A and 66.
66. Okay, so numbers are given priority, I guess. Yes. Okay. So still, but I think this is documented in the website, so you'll find it in the docs definitely. So we have a list over here, right? And we have seen range. So what I want to do right now is I only want the first. Okay, we have done indexing, right? But how do we get the last element of a list? Any ideas? I have a length of, let's say, length L. What do I do now? L minus 1. Okay, so the way of finding length in Python is len. Okay, so it will give you the length. And you can also use it for strings, you can use it for dictionaries, which we'll see later on. But you know your S is ABC, right? So you can use length on these data types. So this is my L. And so if I want the last element, I want to do something like len L minus 1, which should give me 14, right? Okay, awesome. Minus 1. So in Python, what we'll do is, if you see an index which is a negative number, we'll always start from back. So you can say minus 1, minus 2 to refer elements from the back of the list. Okay, is this clear? Okay, so let's say I want the first 5 elements of a list. Okay, so just look at what I'm doing. I know you are smart and you'll figure it out. So what did I just do? I used some colon or something, right? कुछ तो किया उसने colon. So what does this colon do? So this is also something like range. If you see, I just did something like this. It gave me 0 to 9. Okay. So what does this actually do? It is something like this. Okay. Answers clear? Okay. So let's see. So this works similar to how range works, and I can do no, not 20. Sorry, I can use minus 1, right? Because this is the last element, and I can say 2. So 10, 12. What can I do? Something like 15. So I said okay till 15 or till the last index, and it gave me 10, 12, 14. So I can cut list with just like one line of code. Okay, is this simple? Any doubts still here? No? Okay. So this is list. So how do you add elements to a list programmatically? You just do L dot append. Okay, L dot append. What do let's say I'll insert 15 now. And if you see L 15, 15 is added to the list. Okay. What if I want to remove it? I can. So there are two ways of doing it. Let's see both. One I can do is I can say L dot pop. It will remove the last element. What if I want to remove any arbitrary element? So I can do something like L dot pop 0. So and can you see यहाँ पे 15 return किया उसने? So what it does is, what pop does, it will delete the element and return it. Okay, so you can save it in a variable. Similarly, L.pop 0, so it took my first element and it removed my first element basically. So now I don't have 0 and I don't have 15. I have a list of 1 to 14. Okay. The other way of deleting in Python is using del, del. Okay. So let's say I want to delete the element which is at position 4. So I can just say delete L4. Delete did not return, as you can observe. Okay. And 5 is gone. Okay. One more way of removing elements is, if you know the element, key I want to remove, let's say 11. So I can just say L dot remove 11. It will not return you, and it will delete 11. Okay, it will find it and it will delete it. What if you want to? Yes, sir.
How do you get the list of all those methods?
Which?
How do you get the list of all those methods?
All the.
Like all the methods on L. How are they being listed?
Okay. So basically, I am using IPython. So it has something called as tab completion. So what I can do is I can say, okay, this is L dot. So it understands that I want to call a method on it. So when I do tab, it will say me, boss, these are the methods that you can call. And but just reading at these methods, I am not able to get what they do. So let's say I have something like L dot insert. I want to do L dot insert, but I already did append, right? So what does insert do? I have no clue. So what I can do is I can say question mark, L dot insert question mark. So it will say me, okay, this is L dot insert, which takes an index and an object. It will insert the object before index. नहीं समझा? So you can say okay, L dot insert double question mark. Still same. Okay, so basically now you'll have to figure out. So L dot insert, what you can do is you can say you can insert any element at some arbitrary position. So you can say L dot insert at 10A, then you can see A at position 10. Okay. Similarly, you can do extend. So if you want to concat to list, let's say I have two lists, which is, let's say L is equal to, again, let's say range 5, range 6, and M is equal to range 6 again, and I want to concat them. So this is L, this is M, they are both same, and I want to do something like this, L. So I can do L dot extend M. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 0, 1, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. So they concatenated. So to concat to list, you can use extend. But if you feel too lazy to do this, you can just use plus, L plus M. Okay. But so you can see there is one more 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end. But again, notice something. Any changes? Any difference between both the operations? Yes. L plus M will give you a new list. L dot extend will change that list in place. Okay. So ये जो list है, I want to do, I want a different list and I want to work on it. So let's say I'll do k is equal to L. Okay. And I want to remove. I want to remove the last element. -1, does it work here? Okay, it works. Awesome. And I want to remove few more, so I'll just remove few more. Okay, so this is my k again. Okay, I have changed my k. Let's see that again. K. Oh, it changed my L also. So क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? Any clue? Yeah, it was pointing to the same object. So in Python, always be cautious when you're using list and dictionaries, because list and dictionaries, when you do assignment operation, it will not give you a new value. It will change the previous value. Like it will, both the variables will point to the same object. How do you find if it's the same object? There is a function called as id. So I can do something like this: id k is some number, id l is some number. If you are feeling too lazy to compare those two numbers, you can just say id k equal to id l. It says true. Okay, so they are pointing to the same object. So what if I want an actual copy? I don't want the same object. Yes.
You actually say K is L as well.
Oh, okay. So you can also say k is L. Yeah. So you can also do that. So you can say k is L or L is k, and it will find it out. So what if I want an actual copy? So we did see an operation in earlier, which gave you a part of a list. What was that operation? The slicing operation, the colon thingy. So if I did k colon, let's say 4, so it gave me the first 4 elements, right? What if I wanted till the end? Any clues? You can just ignore it. You can just say okay, colon. So it will start from the first element, go till the last element, and give you the list. So now when I do k is equal to L colon k is L false. Okay, so this is how you do copying. Or you can also do something like k is equal to L dot. Oops. There used to be a copy method. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this is about list, and as you can do the slicing operation and dicing operation in list, you can also do it on strings. So you can do something like S colon 2, you'll only get AB, and similarly. So there is a very well-known shortcut to reverse things in Python. So if you want to reverse something, you just do this colon colon minus 1 from start to end, ulta ja. Okay, same thing you can do for list. So this is my list 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I want it to be reversed, I can just say, but again, remember this returns a new list. It does not change it in place. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. Okay, is this simple enough? Any questions about list? Any questions? Any? No? Okay, so moving on to next, which is another important data structure, which is called as dictionaries. So has anyone used dictionary before? No, not Oxford Dictionary. So dictionary, have you heard something like hash map?
Key value.
Key values. Who told key values? Key values. Oh, awesome. So another hypothetical gift for you. So dictionary are basically just key values. So if you don't know what key value means, has anyone used hash map something in Java? No? Okay, let's ignore it. So dictionary is something like, how do you create a new dictionary? You use curly brackets. Okay, curly brackets. Let's see type D, dict. Dict is for dictionary. So what does dictionary store? If you see list, in list you have you can get your elements by indices, integer indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In dictionary, what you can do is you can store your index as a string, okay, and other types which we'll discuss later on. But let's say something like d a equal to 1, ulta karte hain, and let's say d b dn equal to something. So when I say d, a is 1, n is ASD. Okay. So how do you access these elements? This is like if I say, okay, d of a 1. So do you understand how it works? Like how to use it? Is this clear? We can use this for different things later on. Okay. So basically, what happens in dictionary is just remember this. If you don't know about hash map, it is basically constant time searching. So when I do d of a, it will hash it and go to a particular memory location and fetch the value. Okay. So I can also do similarly d of n. Okay. So d has two functions. It has more than two functions, but two functions that we'll look at is d dot. So this is my d dot keys and d dot values. Okay. So any idea what keys are and what values are? What are what? What is what?
Every key is assigned a value.
Every key is assigned a value. So the one which you put in those brackets is the key, like A and N. Okay. These are keys, A and N, and these are values, 1 and ASD. Okay. Is this simple enough? Any doubts? No. So this is what in general a dictionary data type does. So you have keys, you have values. Your values need not be like it can be anything basically. You can also say key, okay, d of something is a list. I can create a list. I can say, okay, range 10, 19. So I have C, which यार C बहुत लंबा है, छोटा करता है इसको. Another 15 minutes. Okay. So range 5. So this is my D. Okay. Did you notice something? Huh?
Sorted by alphabetical.
No. So basically, dictionaries are unordered data type. List is a ordered. List में मतलब the order in which you put elements, it will remain as it is. Okay, but it's not the same for dictionaries. In dictionaries, it is unordered, so it might not be the same order in which you entered those elements. So you should keep that in mind in dictionaries. Similar and also like lists, dictionaries also work like when you do assignment operations, it does not copy. Okay, it will always point to the same object unless you create a copy for it. In dictionaries, how you copy is you do d.copy, it will give you the copy of that particular dictionary. Okay, uh, so this is my d. Uh, so how do you remove elements in a dictionary? You just say again d.pop. I have a key. You pass the key over here. Okay, a. So a ka value was 1. Oops, sorry. D, A is gone. Okay, you can also use del again as so you can do something like del d of c gone. And there are other things. So this is so these are very basic operations which you use in list and dictionaries. One operation which I left out is searching operation. How do you search? Okay, so let's say again I have a range 0 to 10. So how do I search it in Python? So we'll see conditional. So in conditional, what you have if, else if, and if else, for, while, all those things. So we'll see how that work in Python. So let's see how do you check if a particular item is in a list. You just ask if it's in a list. So let me ask if 0 is in L, 0 in L. Okay, this is a question. It will say, oh, true. Is 100 in L? False. So how do I write code about it? I can say, okay, if 0 in L, print hello, it will print hello. So you also saw the if conditional now. Okay, so how do I keep track of my scope? कौन सा if के अंदर है कौन सा नहीं है? You just indent it, right? So that's how it works in Python. Similarly, how you do it in, so what if it's not in L? So I just say, okay, if 0 not in L, else oh no, oh I didn't de-indent it. Void. Did you see what happened? I said if 0 is not in L, then you print hello. Otherwise you print word. Okay. Is this simple? And how do you combine operations? Like logical operations, if you have multiple conditions, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you do it in Java? And or not for not you use exclamation, right? So in Python you just have to type so let's say okay if 0 in L and 100 in L, print hello. Hello. It did not print hello. Okay. So let's try this with or. Hello. Okay. What if I want to negate it? So I can say and not. Okay. So not comes before the condition. Okay. If 0 is in L and not 100 in L, or you can do 100 not in L also. But this was just to demonstrate. You can also do this if 100 not in L. Same thing. Okay. So this is if. There are loops, which is for loop. So you have for loop in Python, which is very powerful. So what if I have a string and I want to print all its characters? So I can just say, okay, for s in, or let's say for t in s, we already have a string called as s, right? Yes, we have ABC. So I can say for t in s, print t ABC. So how this actually works is, did anyone get confused on this? What happened? What just happened? Uh, to put it more clearly, for every character in S, print. So when you give a string, it will. So what every character is, it will store a particular element. Okay. How you do it in C++ is you do for I is equal to 0, I less than 100, I plus plus, and you do S of I, right? So every character is your S of I. You don't directly index it. You can directly index it if you want. So I know range gives me length. Okay. So I can say something like this. So I can say for C in, or for I in range of length of S, print S of I. This will also work. But you can directly get the element. You don't have to do S of I every time. Okay. Same thing for list. So what if I do the same thing on list? What will happen? So what if I do for x in L? I have my L, and I can say print x. It printed my list. Let's do it for dictionaries. I don't have a dictionary with me. Oh, no. Okay. So I have dictionary with 3 elements, and let's do for loop on a dictionary. So for x in D, print x. What happened? Only keys. Now, what if I want values? Uh, what? Okay, d of x. Okay, awesome. What if I want both? X comma dx. Okay. Or you can do something like this. Actually, I missed out a data structure which is called as a tuple. So tuple is like a list, but you can't change it. Okay, so let's do a quick overview on tuple. So tuple is t 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 4. Okay, if I do type of t, it is a tuple. Tuple uses round brackets, and if you look at the functions which tuple offers, it is only counter index. No append, no remove, anything. You can't do that on a tuple. Okay, you can typecast it, but you can't do anything on it. So you can put it in, you can put it into a list. So you can do something like list of t. It became a list now, 1 to 4. Okay. So you can do something like this. So dictionary has a function called as items. What it does is, so it returns you a list of tuples. Okay, you can see, and in each tuple, the first element is the key, second element is the value. Okay, so what I can do is, since I know d.items is a list, and each element has, like each tuple has 2 values, I can be smart and I can say something like for key comma value in d.items, okay, print key comma value. Simple enough? Confusing to anyone? No? So this is about for loop. We did if. We can also create functions, but I don't think so we have time for that. Okay, so let's do functions. Functions are awesome in Python. So how do you create a function? You just say def. Okay, def is for define. Name of the function, parameters, whatever you want to do, indented. Let's print foo just. Let's just print foo. How do you call a function? Foo. That's it. As simple as that. Okay. So no return type. No return type to be defined for the function. You can. So let's create a function with parameters now. So I'll create a function called as prod, which is for product of, let's say, 2 numbers. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll return the product, which is a star b. Okay. Is this simple? Do everyone understand this? Okay. 200. Okay, awesome. What if I do 20? Still that. So in Python, what you can do is like you can see I called 10 comma 20. So these are called as positional arguments because they are position defined if it is A or B. Like this would be a better example actually. So okay, so 10 and difference of 20 comma 10. 10. Okay, so these are positional arguments. They are position defined what values they are. So, but in Python you can also do is you can say you can jumble up their positions, but you can say okay A is this, B is this. How do you do that? You do something like this. You can say okay different A is 10 minus 10, or I can do something like this. I can say okay B is 10, A is 20. So the order does not matter now. Okay, now what if I want a function which will return both sum and product? How do you return multiple values from a function in C++ and Java? Multiple values. Have you ever thought of it? Can you return? Uh, well, the way of doing it in C++ is you have to do call by reference and change it. But let's say I have a function called as sumProd which takes A comma B and returns some product. So what to return multiple values? I just separate prod. 300 comma 200. What did it return me? It returned me a tuple, which is the first value is the sum, second is the product. So how do I take it in a variable? I can do something like this. Yes, 30 and 200. So I want sum in a different variable and product in a different variable. So in that case, since again I know that sum prod returns a tuple with two values, I can do the same thing I did in the for loop. I can say okay. So now I can do S has 30 and P has 200. Okay, so these are basically a very simple explanation of functions. You can do other, let's cover it some other time. So that's it for today. Thank you. Any questions you can ask me on my Twitter ID, which looks something like, or you can go to my website and it has linked to my Twitter profile from there. And you can submit feedback there if you want. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
We wait for a short washing water. The cafeteria is straight and in the section there's a door there. You can just go there and get some refreshments. You'll have to pay for some and some are free. Ask. And after that we have two sessions.
Okay.
And that's all.
End broadcast. Or should I just pause it?
Yes. And broadcast.